Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys at Magic. This is Hunter, David, Shane, and Steven. Say what up, boys.
Yo.
What up?
What's up, nerds?
We are back finally. This is our Commander Grades video for our multicolored. We are going to be separating this in two parts for each video. That's the monocolored and the multicolored because there is... How many, David?
I don't even know, but there's a lot. There's
60? Something like that?
By my count, I'm 700.
700. There's 700 different legendary creatures from this set. So we have a long way to talk about each one. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the white, the blue, and one colorless. And in the next video, we'll get to the other ones. But let's just go ahead and just jump straight into this one. This first card, this is Abdel Adrian, Gorion's Ward. Abdel Adrian Gorion's Ward is 4 and a white for a 4/4 legendary creature human warrior. It says, when he enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you control until Abdel Adrian leaves the battlefield. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each permanent exiled this way. Choose a background. David, go ahead and start us off with this.
I think this card is honestly fantastic. Without jumping ahead, I think it might actually be my favorite of the mono white ones. So these creatures are all super powerful because of that choose a background. They're really flexible because they're not just a color on the face card. They all add an additional color. Well, potentially, unless you double down with a background of the same color. But I think this card is super powerful. You can really abuse any kind of like flicker effects with this. Some of the backgrounds allow you to make additional tokens off of this too. There is a red background that gives you like a sack outlet, so something for you to be able to do with those tokens. I think all of this, everything about this card is just fantastic. I think that this is really abusable.
You get to keep the 1/1s regardless, right? Like
Yeah,
if you flicker
they're
it,
tokens.
Oh, okay. It's just still end of turn. Oh, the exiled card stays exiled till he leaves. Got it.
Right.
Yeah. Dave hit all the points, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the only downside I see with this card is 5 mana. It's kind of a lot to start with, just for to begin.
5 plus whatever the background is.
True, if you want to put the background in. You don't have to cast the background.
Yeah, but if you're abusing the ability of the background like Dave was saying, it will be a little bit of a mana sink, but I guess once you get it going.
I mean, most of the backgrounds are cheaper than this anyway, so I don't think it's going to mess you up on curve.
I just feel like the entire point of these cards with a choose a background is to have a background. I mean, I feel like it's pretty important, especially if you're trying to like build a certain deck, you know?
Well, yeah, the main point of this whole set was to draft. You're able to draft a box, or in the pre-release for this case, you go to a draft of the pre-release, you open up a pack. You get 3 packs of 20 cards each. You make a 60 card deck, and you pass packs by taking 2 cards at a time. A little different, but
What the fuck? 20 card packs?
20 card packs, you get 3 of them. Make a 60 card deck. Kind of interesting.
Well, this could be a fun commander then.
I think it would be fun. Definitely the flicker effect and all that stuff is pretty cool. Make a lot of 1/1s. But I don't know if it's the best.
Potentially the best. How about that?
Potentially? I don't know.
What does Steven think?
I think this is pretty good. I mean, is it high tier? No. Is it mid? Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way. If there's a Dave, there's a way. That's all I can say about that.
Dave has a way.
Dave has a way. I don't think this card is going to be all that difficult for you to be able to break, especially since like you're going to be able to reuse any of those ETBs and make a ton of tokens. If I don't know, if y'all are ready to move on to grades on this one, I'm down too.
All right, let's do it. Start us off, Dave.
I'm going to give this one a B. Honestly, I might actually even say that this is probably, you know what? I'm going to give it an A. I think this card is actually just all around fantastic. I think this is a commander that, depending on how your opponent has built the deck, if it resolves, it may just kill you.
I'm going to go ahead and give this the B that it deserves, that David wanted to give it.
I'm not giving it a B. I am definitely giving it a C. I think it's average at best.
Yeah, I was thinking it's pretty average, at least for my gameplay. So, but I think David giving it a A definitely brings it up. So, you can have
What are
it.
you giving
Dave.
it, Shane?
I was going to give it a C.
Well, that average is going to be a B. Moving on. This next card is Ellyn Harbreeze Busybody. Ellyn Harbreeze Busybody is 3 and a white for a 2/4 legendary creature human peasant. Has an ability where you can tap her, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Choose a background. It seems pretty good in the last card we just saw.
Yeah, dude, scrying is super fucking strong. It's a good way to churn through your deck.
This is better than Scry because it draws you one of them.
That's true. Scry draw.
Scry draw. Yeah, this is
good.
I wrote green-white tokens because that's what we've been seeing from Wizards for the last 5 sets, it seems.
I mean, shit. What was that card you played the other night, dude? Where like when you make 1 token, you make 3? That'd be nuts.
I mean, Academy Manufacturer. That's a very good card. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think the token thing has been done, and I've seen it so many times with me doing the pre-con upgrades. I've been doing the token thing for a while.
Yeah, it's a bit boring. Strong but boring.
What do you think, Steven?
I can't imagine being strong is boring. I love go wide decks. There's just something about just telling your opponent you're gonna just attack with 700,000 things. It's just there's nothing that gets boring about that to me. But yes, I think that the ability on this card is pretty nice. Green white tokens has always been a good thing, and to be able to make a bunch of tokens and to be able to basically look through. I mean, if you're making a bunch of tokens, your entire deck and picking out the one is almost like a tutor in its own weird way. But I like the card. I think it could be really strong.
I agree with Steven on this. I think the amount of card velocity that you get off of this can be absolutely insane. And with it not actually caring about the number of creature tokens, it's just caring about tokens. You can abuse this if you're in like a treasure focused deck and maybe playing this as like white red or something like that. I think this card can get absolutely nutty really, really quick.
Mm-hmm. I think the one thing that's stopping this card from being super really good is haste. But other than that,
give it the boots,
really
dude.
Good.
The boots with the
with the bat. I don't know.
With the bird.
I mean, white always is looking for card draw, right? So this is it, dude.
100%.
It's a bummer there's no background that gives it haste, right?
No, but there are backgrounds that do have the ability to give it more tokens, or at least tokens more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a red background and then put anger in your graveyard, dude. Boom.
Boom. There you go. Yeah, I guess it's strong, but let's move on to the grades. Shane, what are you giving this?
I think I'm gonna give it a B. It's not something that I'd like to probably play just for my style wise, but I can see that getting card advantage is extremely strong. So I'm gonna give it a B.
I'm gonna no, I know what you're gonna do, Hunter, and I'm gonna take it from you. I'm gonna give this a B as well. I think this card is gonna see a lot of play, and I just think it's really funny just because it's a fucking legendary human peasant. It's great.
She's a busybody.
I'm agreeing. I think the card velocity on this makes this it makes it deceptively powerful. I'm gonna go with Steven on this one as well. I'm gonna give it a B. I think haste is really just kind of the only thing that's holding it back, and that it has to survive a turn.
I think I'm just tired of seeing the token thing, so maybe that's why I'm biased here, but I'm sticking with my gut. I'm giving it a C. I think it's kind of average. I don't know.
I mean, some people hate winning, dude. You know, you can't argue with that.
I love the fact that normally I'm the one that's super negative on things, and so far it's been Hunter, so we're 2 for 2. I love this theme so far.
Hey, David, you said to me before we did this video, I love how much we're the same. No, we're not.
Well, we're not polarized, at least not yet. Where we're talking about, I think this card is an A, and you're like, this card is an F.
That's true. We're at least a little on the same page. But the average for here, you guys have said it, it is a B. Next up, Lae'zel, Vlaakith's champion. Lae'zel, Vlaakith's champion, is 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, Gith Warrior. It says if you would put 1 or more counters on a creature or planeswalker you control, or on yourself, put that many +1 of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. Choose a background. Did someone say green-white counters? I've also been doing this deck too many times, and I don't like it.
So you hate it.
I'll let others talk.
I'll say it, dude. This is an owlbear. What do I call these cards again? It's a 3-mana 3/3 that does cool stuff. So it's not a bear, but it's an upgraded bear. Seems pretty good.
It's a mech bear.
Mech bear was. I thought that for some reason I thought it was an owl. But yeah,
I don't know.
I'm just saying. A 3-mana 3/3 body with really good upside, and you get to pick a background. This seems like a really, really strong commander.
Shane, for those, or I'm sorry, not Shane, Steven, for those of us who are a little bit uneducated in this, what is a Gith?
It is a type of. Why
You don't say.
If you say type of creature, I'm going to lose my shit.
It's a type of creature in the D&D lore.
No shit. Is it an elf? Like what the fuck? It looks like an elf.
All right, I quit.
Well, funny enough, though, so let me get the actual name right, because it's a Oh my god, what am I trying to say? It's not a class. It's a
Race.
Yes, race. Sorry. So I think it's the Shanty is the name. And they were actually really busted until the new set just came out, which is pretty fun.
So I just looked it up. It says Gith were a race of humanoids who had been enslaved by mind flayers.
There you go,
Yeah.
Steve. Why can't you say that shit?
Yeah, they have resistance to psychic damage, or they used to. They don't have it anymore.
Is that why they were OP?
I mean, psychic damage is one of those things where nothing really has resistance to it in D&D, so like it's always like a really fun way for DMs to say go fuck yourself.
Cool. All right. Nothing on this card says resistance from psychic damage, so now I don't know how to evaluate it.
No, it's kind of stupid because it doesn't really have anything going with the lore of this creature, so it's fun.
Well, this is like the set's face, isn't it? This person.
I guess.
No, it's Baldur's Gate, Hunter. Come on, get with it.
They went. There's so many cards from Avernus in this set that I'm kind of surprised they didn't go with something from that.
Well, Steven, what do you think about the card itself?
Let's talk about the ability.
It's fucking great, dude. Like, what is there to talk about? Like, it's basically what is it, like not parallel line, like doubling season. You basically get extra counters. I mean,
we're not doubling anything. We're adding 1.
I mean, kind of like doubling.
If you only have one,
doubling 1, yeah.
Doubling 1. I don't know. I think it's good. I mean, anything you can add counters to. I mean, I think it's. I mean, anytime you add the word proliferate into anything, it's solid.
Yeah, see, but this is a dumbed down version of proliferate. I was about to bring that up. This is like they should have added proliferate. What should I say?
Proliferate.
Proliferate.
Still said it wrong.
I can't say it.
The P word.
Lithium. Okay. They could have just added that to this card, but they didn't, and because that would have made it way too strong, right?
Well, yeah.
So typically, whatever. I think this card is fantastic.
Go ahead. Say more.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I love how you immediately go with like green-white counters. Nothing about this card says green. You don't have to go with green. This is literally whatever other color you want it to be. I look at this and I'm like, oh, dude, I want to build like a Planeswalker tribal deck or something like that, where it's just like super friends, where it's white and another color that I can throw into this. Because it's not just +1/+1 counters. It's any kind of counter.
Yeah, true.
I know, but I say green because you have things like Steven said, Parallel Lives, doubling season that you could throw into a deck like that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I get that you can put the +1/+1 counters on a creature. I also think that maybe this could be like a fun little way for you to, I don't know, goof around and pump up your tokens or pump up your big board or whatever it is. I think that this is a commander that is well designed and has a lot of different ways that you could potentially build it. I like these kinds of cards. Also, for 3 mana, this thing is pretty cheap, so it's going to come down fast. Your opponents are going to have to deal with it, and whenever they do deal with it, you're going to be able to recast it a couple of times.
Dude, I was going to say that. I love commanders that are able to, play the entire game.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to our grids. I'll start. I'm still staying with what I said in the last card. I've seen it too many times. It's a C.
I'm going to go ahead and follow up Hunter and say I've seen this combo too many times and it works really well, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a B.
You're funny.
Steven and I are going to be twins today. B.
Make it a triplet, baby. B.
You guys are bringing up these
Baby.
averages, huh? This
Oh, yeah.
average is a B.
We're not bringing him up. You're trying to bring him down.
Doing a bad job. This next card, Lulu, Loyal Hollyphant. Lulu, Loyal Hollyphant is 3 and a white for a 3/2 legendary creature, Elephant Angel. It has flying. It says at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each tapped creature you control. Then untap them. Choose a background.
Yeah,
I love
really
how you throw it.
Great.
Interesting.
I like this.
This is so good. This triggers off fetch lands.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I don't like the fact that the creatures you have to be tapped. Maybe it's because I'm
Why?
a
It means
bitch
you're
and I
attacking
hate-
him.
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
I
it's an
know.
aggro deck, I guess.
Like I hate aggro because like I just got done playing a token deck with Lathril and I had like 20 fucking elves and I never swung with them.
Sounds like
don't
your
know
fault.
why.
You know Vlaakith has a tap ability, right?
Yes, yeah. I did that, but I don't know. Like I don't ever swing with my horde of things until I know I can win the game, and then by then I'm too late and I get a board wipe.
Yeah, you should just swing. Anyways, this card seems interesting. I don't know if it's like an all-star, but it seems good. Seems like an interesting. It's like a very linear strategy, in my opinion, though.
Play this in a green-white deck that cares a lot about Convoke. That way you're constantly tapping down your creatures to help cast big spells, and boom.
Oh, don't say green white around Hunter.
I know, and it's a counter thing. Hunter's probably going to give this an F. He hates that strategy.
I'm actually more a fan of this one than the last one, to be honest.
Oh my god.
I just like the aggro aspect more, where you pump your creatures after attacking and get them as blockers. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Except for the other ones, you know, you get them before you attack, so they hit harder.
Yeah, but then you get blowback, man.
Just kill your opponent. They can't hit you and hurt you if they're dead.
Just there you go. Just kill your opponent. You win. That's all it takes. You guys ready to move on to grades?
Hell yeah.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
I'm going to sound like Hunter for this one. I've seen this strategy. I'm actually just going to give this one a C. The tapping thing does kind of limit this one a little bit. It's also 4 mana, which I feel like is a little bit slower than the other ones that we've seen, given that, of course, I am also comparing this to a 5-drop, but I do think that 5-drop like is super impactful the turn it drops. Oh my god, Hunter, I just saw what you did. I'm giving it a C. Hunter, I think you go next.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna give it a C as well.
You He just changed in the notes in the live doc that we have for all of this. He just changed his grade from a C to a B back to a C. I hate this guy.
Just because I wanted to mess with your brain a little bit. No, I'm giving it a C. I really like the effect, but how often can you do the effect? I don't know. I mean, mana dorks are pretty cool too. Those can come back. I don't know. It's cool.
Sorry, I was yawning. I'm gonna give this a C as well. I think the tapped creature thing is just what's really throwing this off for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C as well. So I think it's a C.
Wow, the average is a C all across the board. Let's move on to the last of the white commanders. This is Rasaad Yin Bashir. Rasaad Yin Bashir is 2 and a white for a 0/3 legendary creature human monk. It says each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Whenever Rasaad Yin Bashir attacks, if you have the initiative, double the toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Choose a background.
Well, Hunter's seen this before as well, so you don't like this one either, right? This whole assign damage as toughness.
Yeah, as someone that runs an Arcanes deck, this would fit in it, not at the helm.
Yeah. Cool that it doubles it, but just seems kind of meh.
I don't even know if this would fit in it, to be honest with you, because it's a redundant ability of the commander, and then the only other effect assumes you have the initiative, which this doesn't.
Doesn't even get. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't give you the initiative. You're gonna have to put other cards in the deck to help out.
Well, I'm assuming your background would give you initiative somehow, but yeah, this seems bad.
I don't think a background gives you the initiative, right?
I'm hoping, because otherwise, what does this card do?
No, I'm pretty sure none of them give you the initiative.
I'm
You
pretty
didn't
sure
write it
none
in
of them
there.
do either.
You didn't write it.
Seems like a really bad card then, like a almost
on.
unplayable card.
I mean, what do you mean by that? I mean, I don't think this card's unplayable. I don't think this card's as bad as everyone's saying. I think that
100. What?
no, man. I mean, there's tons of cards out there that have super high
There's like-
toughness.
But no,
Nope,
but
I
the
know.
whole what?
It doesn't. There's no initiative.
But dude, the
Yeah,
whole point
no
of this card
backgrounds.
also is the fact that it would double its toughness if you have the initiative. Like what? There's like 15 to give you the initiative right now. It's just really bad.
I mean, so what you're telling me is you have to build around the deck?
No, what I'm telling you is there's a deck that literally does this exact thing but better. And so like
There's
the part that
two.
you would like, yeah. So the part that you would like would be the second part of the text, and you can't really get that reliably because it doesn't give you the initiative. So it just seems like a big swing and a miss on R&D.
I mean,
In my
unless
opinion.
somebody else is running another card that says they get the initiative and they're swinging at you to get the initiative, from what the way I would build this deck is, you have creatures with high toughness to be able to block those things. Granted, you
Oh,
have
yeah.
unblockable, you have flying, there's things to get around it, but at the end of the time, at the end of the day, I still think that, when you build this card with a certain deck that you want, I think this card could do good things.
There are currently 22 cards that give the initiative.
And
Yeah,
how many of those are white?
They don't have to be just white. Keep in mind, this guy has a background.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the background,
dependent.
I feel like you kind of want a certain background here, but
I probably would want to lean into the green one that would give this guy plus 10 or the 10/10.
sorry, did you say green white?
Yeah, that would definitely be green white. But I mean, green's got some big old fatties. I just feel like this is contending with Arcades, as we mentioned before, and Doran, and both of those are 3-color cards, so it gives it the additional leg up. Plus, like, they don't care about an initiative, so I don't necessarily have to fill my deck with bad cards to make my deck good.
Yeah, Arcades is going to be a happy camper with this in it. Let's move on to the grades. Because I said I was the Arcades player, love this in the 99, but not as a commander. This is a D. It might be good in draft. Obviously, Steven, that's what you're talking about, build it around, but not
Yeah, I mean,
in
I'm
a
gonna
regular
give this.
game.
I'm gonna give this a C. I mean, granted, I know I was not giving it high praise. I think this can be cool, but it is very specific, and you do have to build very strategically. And I think that's where, like, if you're getting that deep into it, I'd rather just do something else. But I will give this a C.
I'm diving in with a D on this one. I'm not high on this card.
Dive in with a D.
Dive in.
I'm gonna stay with a D as well.
Yep. That is going to be an average of a D. All right, first up, blue card. Here we go. This is Alora, Married Thief. Alora, Married Thief is 2 and a blue for a 3/2 legendary creature, Halfling Rogue. It says whenever you attack, up to one target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Choose a background. Shane,
What?
you did the unblockable thing in the last precon upgrade.
Yeah.
This has a pretty significant downside. What are your thoughts?
It's way worse. It makes you pick up the card that you made unblockable, so unless you're doing significant damage, you have to replay it, and then if it doesn't have haste, wait another turn. Like, this is just not even on my radar, in my opinion.
Well, here's what I came up with. Pair this with black. A black background doesn't really matter. I just want black in the deck. Make this a ninjutsu deck. That second ability never triggers.
Or
I think
you flicker it? There's
No,
ways to get
'cause
around it.
That creature can't be blocked, which means you can ninjutsu, right?
Oh, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying there's an additional way to get around the, like, bouncing it back to your hand. If you flicker it, it counts itself as a different object than original, so it won't do the bouncy bounce thing.
That's true. I
I
don't know.
agree with
think-
Steven's point, though. Steven, if you want to bring that one up.
Yeah, my point is this card sucks, and I'd like to move on.
Yeah, this is.
I don't think it
not-
does. I don't think it
It
does suck.
really does, Hunter.
The ninjutsu thing is legit.
But they're way better ninjutsu commanders.
Sure. I
I'm
mean,
staring at one right now.
no one's gonna beat. What is it?
Satura.
Wasn't gonna go Saturo. What was the big one? Starts with a Y.
Yuriko?
That one. Yeah, that's the main one. But I don't know. I think it would be an interesting way because they're all unblockable.
Yeah, actually, it's now that you say it, Hunter. When I think about it, so let's move on to the commander grades. David, what are you giving this?
I'm gonna
What-
give
how
this
would
thing a D. I like part of me wants to like the fact that you can reuse ETBs on this. At the same time, I don't like bouncing my things, and the tempo negative on this I think might just kill me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is an F for me. I don't like the fact that if I'm not doing your strategy, Hunter, the fact that I have to then reuse the mana and hold it up. Yeah, I think it's kind of stupid.
I'm
gonna
giving
give
it a
it-
C.
oh,
I'm
sorry.
giving it a C. Going all the way up there.
Yeah, I know. You'll be the other one there, dude. 'Cause I'm giving it a D. I just don't see it.
Well, that average is a D. This next
Womp,
card is
womp, womp.
this next card is Gale Waterdeep Prodigy. Gale Waterdeep Prodigy is 2 and a blue for a 1/3 legendary creature human wizard. It says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may cast up to one target card of the other type from your graveyard. If a spell cast from your graveyard this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Choose a background. In other words, if you cast an instant, you can cast a sorcery, and if you cast a sorcery, you can cast an instant.
But the
Fucking
sorcery
dope.
is the sorcery still restricted to the time though?
Nope.
No, timing restrictions aren't.
Is that what it says?
I mean, yeah.
Timing restrictions no longer apply with this card.
I mean, is it Spellslinger? Like, what else do we have to talk about?
I
Dimir
wrote the-
Spellslinger?
I wrote the only
Nah.
downside is that you still have to cast the other card too.
That's a lot of mana.
I
Maybe it's
mean,
not. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Vampiric Tutor is 1 mana, and being able to use that twice to set up and just like set up my combo and just win the game sounds really good to me.
Yeah,
That's true.
combos
You-
suck.
You bring up a good point there, Dave.
I mean, your tutors are super spicy whenever they literally do things twice.
You gotta play a
Yeah.
sorcery then, dude.
I don't think that's going to be hard.
Oh,
Oh.
cocky are we?
I think this card is really dope. My only like gripe about this is I feel like this is starting to contend in the same space as Cast Dissident Mage, and I think she's better. But this card is still really strong.
I feel weird, dude. 'Cause I like playing blue, and this card doesn't even really like scream to me. Maybe it's because I don't want to play a combo. I feel like this is just a combo setter upper.
Combo setter upper.
Yeah.
We looked it up. That is the word.
I mean, if it's not, I just made it. So
I mean,
True.
I agree with you, David, that Kess is technically better, but is she only better because technically she's Grixis? Like,
it's a lot of technicalities.
Well, she also doesn't rely on the like every other like the alternation type thing that this card has as a restriction.
yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like you're still building around this deck. So I mean, like, you have a bunch of instants or sorceries in your deck to play.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this card is bad by any means. I think this card is very powerful. I am comparing it to one of the titans of the format, though. I think that is something that we need to bring up there as well. Is like Kess is not just a like run of the mill commander. That's a commander that like somebody sits down with and like you really need to worry about that deck.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this card with one of the new cards from the set that we did on our spoiler video, the Storm King's Thunder card. I think there's gonna be so many fun, cool combos we can pull off now.
Pretty cool card. Let's move on to the grades. I think we've all said our piece there for this card. Shane, we'll start with you because you feel uneasy about it.
I just feel like I'm the fucking odd man out here. I can't give it a C, but I'll give it a B. I just don't know. I just don't know. Maybe I think I'm letting my feelings get in the way. I'm not looking at it objectively. I'm sorry. Yeah,
He's
I'll
looking
give it a
at this
B.
from a sense of like, I can't reuse counter spells.
I mean,
So it's
maybe I
missing
don't
with me.
know. Maybe I don't know, dude. It's because I am the blue player, like I said. It's I don't know. I don't like playing combo. I'll give it a B though. I'll acknowledge it. It's strong.
I'm
I
gonna give
am
it an
right
A.
there with you. What?
Yeah, I'm giving it an A. I'm not gonna give you a chance to be BBs and then me and David go high on this one. I'm gonna say B and then I'm gonna go A. A.
I'm with Steven as well. This is an A. This is a slam dunk of a card. This is the commander that if you sit across from, like, you really need to be able to worry, or you need to really worry about this. And with it only being 3 mana, if you kill it, prepare to try and counter it or kill it a second time because it's going to come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna sandwich you 2 A's with another B. But the tie goes to the higher grade, so this average is an A.
Damn right.
Next up is Imoen, Mystic Trickster. Imoen Mystic Trickster is 2 and a blue for a 2/3 legendary creature, human, rogue, wizard. It's got Ward 2. It also says at the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, draw a card. Draw another card if you've completed a dungeon. Choose a background.
The fuck?
Got another one
I mean,
that
this is a
doesn't
really
give the
good.
initiative.
This is a really good filter card, like a draw card. Like Jesus Christ. But other than that, I don't want to go through a dungeon.
Playing bad cards to make your deck good means you made a bad deck.
How about this,
Yes,
dude? In
they
draft,
say
this could be an all-star.
sure, potentially.
Yeah.
What this card screams to me is it's just Monarch, right?
Well, they want you to get in the dungeon, dude.
Right. I'm just saying the initiative is the same thing as Monarch. So like you have the initiative at the end step, you draw a card, which is Monarch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's like a monarch on steroids, basically. But yeah.
At that point, sure.
But that being said, if the commander just said, Ward 2, you become the monarch, I would give this a hard pass.
It's true. I mean, yeah, you're right. What
So
do you think?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I guess the saving grace is that if you did care about this, you get to draw another one. If in like 5 turns you finish the dungeon. But then again, that's stupid.
Dave, what do you think?
I'm not high on this. I don't like initiative as a mechanic as a whole. I don't think that it is actually Monarch. I don't think it's as strong as Monarch. I know that with this commander in play, it tries to like emulate that with a little bit of upside. I don't like having to play bad cards to make a deck good because then I feel like at that point you've just made a bad deck. This is not a good card. This is not a card that I would like to play.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is also this is a bad card, but this is literally the monarch.
If you
I don't know
have
how
the
you can say it's
initiative,
not.
yes, you draw the card because
Right.
this doesn't gain you the monarch in any way. It doesn't like ETB and like boom, you're the monarch. So it's like it's not even going to draw a card as most monarch cards do because most monarch cards they have an ETB like whenever they enter the battlefield, you become the monarch. So at
I get
least
what you're
those
saying.
will cantrip.
Because it doesn't give you. Okay, I didn't realize that. I was gonna say, it seems like the monarch. So yeah, you don't get the monarch. Got it. Or you don't get the initiative. That makes
Like
no sense.
that means that this card is completely reliant on other cards in your deck to do literally anything. Like the floor on this is like you're playing a 3 mana 3 or you're playing a 3 mana 2/3 with Ward 2. This is the commander that I don't have to actually interact with at all.
Yeah, I really don't understand the R&D decision. Like, how is there not a background that just gives you the initiative? There's like 2 cards now that rely on the initiative that don't give it to you. That's super stupid.
Steven, what do you think of this card?
I think it's poop and we need to move on.
All right, let's move on to the grades. I'm giving it a D. Not entirely sure why, but I am. It's a D.
We should all say it all together, dude, in unison.
We all give
D.
it
D. Oh,
D.
D. All
Do we need
right.
to count down next time?
sorry.
This
I thought we were
average.
gonna do it.
The average there is a D. All right. This card is Renari, Merchant of Marvels. Renari, Merchant of Marvels is 3 and a blue for a 2/4 legendary creature, Dragon Artificer. It says you may cast dragon spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. Choose a background.
Dude, I really, really want to like this card so bad.
It seems
do
very
like it.
good.
Why don't you like it?
It just seems. I don't know what I would do with it. Like I guess I pick a red background and I do Is It, and I get some sick ass dragons and they have flash and my artifacts have flash and yeah, I guess this is a good card.
This is Vidalcan Orrery for your artifacts. I don't actually care about the dragon part of this card at all.
I like it. I like
What?
dragons, Dave.
Why don't you care about dragons, Dave?
Because dragons are typically kind of expensive, and I feel like it really wants me to pick out like a red background for it to be dragons, so it locks me in Is It. I mean, in all fairness, I'm probably playing Is It with this card even in artifacts, but artifacts, generally speaking, are a lot cheaper. They're a lot faster. There's a lot just more fun things that I can do rather than just here's my big 5/5 that just happens to also now have flash.
I mean,
there are other cards, dude. You can get like there's some pretty cool 4-mana
Artifacts?
dragons.
Also,
I
not
don't know.
forget about artifact creatures.
Oh shit! Don't
That's
forget about artifact
true.
creatures, Dave.
What about artifact dragons? Some steel
What about,
hellkite.
what about dragon artifact? I forgot.
What about Scion of Draco?
Okay. We're just
What about
talking about
planeswalkers, dude?
stuff now. What about flashing in Goldspan Dragon?
What about haste?
Wait, yeah, why would you need a flash in Goldspan Dragon?
Why not?
What if you flashed in Blightsteel Colossus?
Ooh.
There we go.
All right,
There you
I'm
go.
going infect again. Let's go, baby.
Oh.
This is not an infect commander.
Well, it is now.
All right, we broke it.
If you play, are changelings technically?
Dragons, yeah.
Huh.
They're everything,
True.
Steven.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this card. Let's move on to grades. I'm giving it a B.
I'm gonna give it a B as well, buddy. B for big,
Buddies.
big dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B as well.
I'm going to be a downer on this one. I'm going to give this thing a C. I definitely don't care about the dragon aspect. I care about the artifact aspect. And at 4 mana, I feel like this might just start eating removal if my opponents start to care about what I'm doing.
Well, they'll care.
There's the Dave we know. Coming back to the negativity, huh, Dave?
I'm
We
back
missed
to
you.
bring you all down.
We missed you, dude.
This average for this one is a B. This next card is Vhal, Candlekeep Researcher. Vhal Candlekeep Researcher is 3 and a blue for a 2/3 legendary creature human wizard. It has vigilance. It also has the ability where you can tap, add an amount of colorless mana equal to Vhal Candlekeep Researcher's toughness. This mana can't be spent to cast spells from your hand. Choose a background.
What are you
And now it
casting?
can be spent on your background.
Okay.
True. You can do that.
There's gotta be something you're doing, right? Like besides just your background. Otherwise, this card sucks.
Foretelling cards.
Any card that goes to exile, this can like the exile until end of turn type things.
Mm-hmm.
What about suspend? Is that casting?
That gets weird, and typically the suspend is an ability that you just suspend. So, no, maybe
You're suspending research, dude.
you're suspending it from your hand.
Yeah, but you're not casting it.
You cast it on the resolution of the last suspend counter or time counter being removed from it.
Right, but it's free at that point, so it's fine.
It would still be free.
I'm just okay.
You can't get a discount on free.
No. I'm saying it's like you could tap her and use that mana to suspend something because you're not casting it from your hand technically.
No,
I'm
you
trying to figure out
can.
what this card
That's a
does.
suspend ability.
Are you saying can or can't?
You know what? You're right.
No. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Okay, we were 2 ships passing in the night. I understand
Alright.
what you're saying.
Okay.
You
Is it relevant? I have no idea.
You can play this with Lear.
Oh, that's a good card to play with. Yeah.
You
I
can-
mean,
I
you
mean, why not just do an Equipment Matters deck? Like
A what?
equipments.
you're not.
yeah, any activated ability, like an equipment ability, this will work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't there better commanders that make your equip cost 0?
Yes.
So I don't want to do this then. I'm gonna do that one.
I mean, most
I like
equipment
the
are not
leader,
going to
dude.
cost 3.
Sorry. That's true. That's true.
How about casting stuff off the top of your deck?
Yeah,
I like that
there-
too.
there's a lot of weird things you can do with this.
I feel like I'm not able to judge this card now.
Interesting, David, because I wrote, what a weird card to build around.
I can
So
read
wow.
your
see
notes.
this-
I know what you've read.
I also see this going infinite. With some
Infinite?
Do you
combos.
know? Do you now? Do tell.
Umbral Mantle, Staff of Domination.
Those are cards.
Those are cards.
Just tapping
Alright.
and untapping and tapping and untapping.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead.
Drawing through your deck.
Let's go ahead and grade this. Steven, we'll start with you, Mr. This can go infinite.
Well,
Oh.
you know what? You know what letter goes good with infinites, right? Bees.
I?
Bees. Dave.
It is so weird that I just kind of want to give it a C. There's things you can do with it. There's also things you can't do with it. It's a headache. I'm giving it a C because I'm confused.
Wait a minute.
I am joining you in that. I'm giving it a C.
I think isn't there a way now that Steven brought up infinite, not exactly mana vault, but can't you go infinite with one of those artifacts that tap for mana and then untap? That's how you probably can go infinite with this.
You can only untap it once, and I think you're thinking of Basalt Monolith.
That one. Why is it only once? I thought it was whenever.
But
I
you
mean,
pay mana
you
to
pay-
untap the thing.
You can also do stuff like Liquid Metal Torque, and you can make this card an artifact and basically constantly untap it. There's different ways to go about it, but then again, then you're going into such a setup just to do one thing.
Yep.
Well, I mean that's David's combo and it's fucking to a T.
I don't like 5-card combos, and I feel like that's where we're going with this.
Oh, it's my turn. My turn. C.
All right. Well, this average is a C. This last blue card is a familiar face. This is Volo, Itinerant Scholar. Volo, Itinerant Scholar is 2 and a blue for a 2/3 legendary creature human wizard. It says when Volo enters the battlefield, create Volo's Journal, a legendary colorless artifact token with hexproof, and whenever you cast a creature spell, note one of its creature types that hasn't been noted for this artifact. You can also pay 2 and tap Volo to draw a card for each creature type noted for target permanent you controlled, named Volo's Journal. Choose a background.
I didn't know if we were going to get through that.
It's a lot on that card. They really had to
And
lower the font there to fit all of it, didn't they?
You are going to be so bummed whenever your opponent plays artifact removal, and then this just doesn't do anything anymore.
well, it's got hexproof.
Why?
so
It's
that's
got
good.
hexproof.
All right, fine. You know what? It helps whenever you read cards.
You will be very sad, but also this just seems like such a you have to fucking remember so many things. Like if I have to remember every creature that creature type
Put
that I've
dice.
played.
Just
I
put it
don't
on your
have those-
notes.
I don't
Put it on a
have those dice.
notepad, dude. You have a phone.
Ugh, I gotta write shit now, dude.
Type.
Is this card strong? Yeah, but I got to do shit for it, dude.
This requires thinking. I don't like it. It's anti-tribal, dude. This card is fucking dope.
That's exactly like the last Volo, right?
Anti-tribal. Huh? Oh,
Hell
the
yeah.
tribal is it being anti-tribal?
Yeah.
Got it.
You play
Yeah.
none of the same creature types.
Yeah,
Huh.
exactly the last Volo Guide to Monsters.
You're playing a bunch of shapeshifters. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, dude. Maskwick Nexus.
Well, you are drawing a lot, so that's cool.
What do you think, Steven?
My brain hurts.
You've shut off. What happened?
I don't know. I mean, this card's good. I can't. I'm trying to find a fault in it because for something inside of me is telling me don't like this card, but I can't find it.
I feel like Wizards made the mistake last time with the whole cookbook because they could kill the cookbook, so they definitely learned from that mistake. So that's a good thing, right?
True.
I mean, it could still be stopped. I mean,
Destroy all artifacts.
It's just much harder, I would say. But yeah, I know.
I will say that this is. I think this is actually slower than what it originally reads. So, like, you play this, and then the following turn you play another creature to get one counter on it, which is probably going to eat your turn 4. And if it doesn't, then you have to tap an additional 2, you have to come up with an additional 2 and tap this creature to draw a card. I still think that this card is really strong, but like, I feel like it's going to be deceptively taxing.
Yeah. I
Get a
mean,
bunch of ramp.
there it is, David. Thank you.
there, you fixed Steven's brain. He's no longer hurting.
Oh yeah, I'm not hurting quite as much as he's hurting now. Do you want to go on to grades?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll give
I'm
it a
gonna
B.
go. No. Okay.
Oh god.
Dude, what are you gonna give it, Steven?
I'm gonna give it a C, and I give it a C because it's not bad, because it does have card draw, and I love card draw because card draw magic is what wins games. But the reason why I'm gonna give it a C is because it is slow, and I don't like slow games.
Okay. Dave?
I mean, I agree with Steven's points. Card draw on a commander, though, is still really powerful, so at a minimum, I'm going to give this a B. Even if it's 2 mana to tap it to draw just 1 card, I think I'm fine with that, and it's all upside from there.
I mean, I think for 3 mana, one of it being blue, I'd rather just play Rhystic Study.
I agree with you. I 100% would rather play Rhystic Study, but you're comparing this, like, Rhystic Study is one of, if not the best, draw spell or draw engine in the format.
Exactly.
Think about this, dude. This is like a guaranteed
Study.
Rhystic Study.
Yeah, because Rhystic Study isn't a commander.
It's like
you play
a one
Rhystic
of in your
Study
deck.
in this deck.
Yeah. Like you might play Rhystic Study once every couple games, unless you're cheating. This you can play every game.
Or you just know how to mulligan or tutor.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I'll give this a B.
Well, that average is gonna be a B. Let's move on to the last card of the day. This is Faceless One. Faceless One is 5 generic mana for a 3/3 legendary enchantment creature. Background. It says, if Faceless One is your commander, choose a color before the game begins. Faceless One is the chosen color. Choose a background.
All right, all together, guys. Let's say it. F.
A.
This is David. It's funny that you're trolling, but this is like not even a card, dude.
Nah, dude, the confusion bonus on this is going to be great. I'm going to build 5 different versions of this deck, and then I'm going to sit down with it and not going to tell you which version I'm playing until we start. And then I'm going to be like, both of my Faceless Ones, because I'm obviously going to build this with another version of it for partner, or for background. I'm going to be like, dude, both of which are just blue.
Got it. Okay. So this card literally does nothing and it's bad. I'm ready to move.
It's a common legendary.
Yeah, they did this for drafting purposes, dude. What if you open your pack and you don't get a background or a... I don't know, they needed to put something like this in there, I'm guessing.
Steven, what do you think?
Why are we talking about this card?
I don't know.
All right, let's move on to grades. David changed his grade. This is an F.
Yeah, it's an F.
It's definitely an F, dude. It's not a card.
This is awful. F.
All right. That average there is an A. I mean F.
No.
But that is it. That is the end of part 1 for the monocolored legendaries. We will see you guys in the next one for part 2. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below telling us what your favorite legendary of this video is. Also follow us on our Instagram and Twitter. That is @GuysThatMagic to keep up to date with everything that we do. And until the next one, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Bye bye.
Later.
Bye.